For years, marketers bought into a specific promise about IP targeting, that you could track and serve digital ads to a specific individual person. But look at how modern internet architecture actually works. The signal stops at the edges of the house. You aren't reaching an individual, you are reaching a household network. If you build a campaign expecting person-level precision, your budget will bleed out. To get a positive return on investment today, you have to plan around what the technology actually does, rather than how it was sold. The tactic still works, but evaluating whether it belongs in your budget requires a hard reset on what signal you are tracking, how matches are made, and what you are actually measuring. The confusion starts with the vocabulary. When a vendor pitches IP targeting, they mean one of 5 different practices. First is IP geolocation. This is what Google Ads uses to infer a general city. Next are reverse IP business identification and IP-based attribution, used for intelligence and measurement, not ad delivery. Then there is address-to-IP household activation. You provide postal addresses, they're matched to home connections, and ads served to those specific networks. If you don't pin down exactly which of these 5 tools a vendor is selling, you have no way to measure if it is working. Let's look at how that address-to-IP workflow is supposed to happen. Step 1. You take a physical list of names and postal addresses, like past customers or an upcoming direct mail file, and load it into a vendor's matching system. Step 2 is the critical link. The matching system takes those physical street addresses and attempts to find the exact IP addresses of the internet connections at those specific locations. When this works perfectly, you get the gold standard of local advertising. A household receives a physical direct mail piece in their mailbox on the exact same day coordinated digital ads appear on their TV and tablets. Synchronizing offline and online messaging is incredibly effective, but it relies entirely on the assumption that the linkage made back in Step 2 is actually correct. Vendors will often quote a match rate of 90% or higher, but a match rate just means they found some IP address for your record. It does not mean they found the correct IP address. This chart shows exactly how wide that gap is. A 2025 study analyzed nearly 1 billion commercial IP linkages. They found that IP to postal address matches were accurate just 13% of the time on average. Furthermore, the data revealed systematic overlinking, containing roughly 3 times more IPs per location than ISP records supported. Now, these low accuracy numbers apply specifically to the broad commercial linkage datasets used across the industry. Providers that use deterministic, ISP-verified data can perform at a much higher level. But if your vendor cannot explain exactly where their data comes from, that gap between the claimed match rate and the verified accuracy is where your marketing budget goes to die. Those matches don't fail because the algorithms are malicious. They fail because modern internet architecture is inherently fluid. Your internet provider can reset your home's router and reassign your IP address at any time. Meanwhile, mobile networks are constantly rotating phones through massive shared address pools, instantly breaking the link between the user and a physical location. Then there are shared networks. Apartment buildings, college dorms, and corporate office suites routinely funnel dozens of unique households or businesses into a single public IP. You cannot isolate a specific unit on a shared connection. Add in the widespread adoption of virtual private networks and hybrid work environments, and a target's true physical location is often completely hidden from the ad server. These failure modes are baked into the way the internet works today. You can't fix them, which means you have to deploy IP targeting selectively, using it only under specific conditions that can withstand the friction. We have strict guardrails. Do not use IP targeting if your goal is tracking an individual. Skip it if your list is heavy on apartment buildings or tech audiences using VPNs, and keep it away from sensitive categories like personal finance or healthcare, where household-level ad delivery creates serious privacy risks. Instead, use it where household reach is actually a benefit. It performs well for high-consideration local services, like HVAC replacement or roofing, and for reactivating a clean list of known past customers. The single most defensible application for this technology today remains exactly what it was built for: serving digital ads to reinforce offline direct mail campaigns. IP targeting pays dividends when you know your target, the offer fits the household, and your data is clean. The only way to know if this tactic is working for your business is to replace blind trust in vendor promises with a scientific testing framework. Before spending $1, scrub your first-party list to remove duplicates, opt-outs, and out-of-area addresses. Then, demand a transparent match methodology report from the vendor to see exactly how many records they linked and how they did it. Most importantly, establish a holdout control group. A portion of your list receives only direct mail. The test group receives mail plus IP-targeted digital ads. When finished, ignore clicks. Measure the difference in actual conversions. That delta is the only metric proving causality. IP targeting is not a guaranteed marketing promise, but if you strip away the mythology and treat it as a rigorous business test, it remains a highly effective tool in 2026.